Can you imagine me telling people this story? It isn't something you bring up in conversation. Most people don't believe anything these days. I haven't been back to the apartment in the Bronx since we moved.
And now we're here at your latest premiere for The Sight Unseen. So we want to know, how does it feel?
Yeah, it feels incredible. The Sight Unseen is my family's story, it's my community's story. And like I said from the beginning, when I was even trying to tell people about the story and raise money, I wanted to make sure that we did it in Harlem first. So I'm just grateful. We sold out last night, over 450 people. And today we got another 60 to 50 people coming and another sold out show. So it shows the community is once again behind me. They're excited about the stories that I'm taking on. And yeah, this is beautiful. I'm glad to be here with y'all too. Y'all have been supporting me since the beginning, and onward and upward. We're gonna continue to do this.
I love that.
Now, what made you want to tell your family story? Because I know that could be vulnerable as well. What made you want to take this time to actually make a project about it?
One of my classmates challenged me and said, "You should do that story you told me about your family and the glowing cross." And I had never thought to do it. It was always something that was like one of my family's like folklore stories. And I decided if I'm gonna tell this story, I need to find the article or newspaper my mother spoke about that she was in. And I actually ended up finding this article written by Melvin Tapley, a journalist locally in Harlem at the Amsterdam News, who wrote about the glowing crosses. He took a photo of my mother. He took a photo of the thousands of people that were lined up. And I was like, man, I got the story. I got my reason why I want to tell this. So that was an incredible opportunity. And I was like, why not tell my family story is what I would say my biggest film. So
I
incredible.
think that's kind of beautiful. Like sometimes, like the stories within your own life, and that's very close. So you can make an impact, to like the broader world. So not only are you like representing, your family, but you're also kind of like impacting, the community and something that they mean.
And representing the Bronx too. What is the main takeaway that you want people to leave with after seeing this film?
I would say listen to your family members. We spoke about this last time about y'all speaking to your grandmother. I remember in the interview.
That's
and
crazy.
documenting each other's own narratives, right?
Mhm.
We have so many incredible stories right here in our community. Whether my story is faith-based, and so many of us, like you speak about the Bronx, these are people that have been brought up and cultures have been established through faith.
Right.
And I want people to have these conversations with one another. Don't be afraid to dive deeper into your faith, whatever that may mean. And most importantly, build with one another, right? I did this film with my friends, my family, and my community. I didn't want to go to anyone else outside. I asked for help, I asked for support, but most importantly, I knew this project wasn't going to happen without the support of everyone that's around me. Everyone that supports me and loves each other. So I want people to work together. I want them to dive into community stories, family stories, and yeah, I just really want people to be able to know that if you work with one another, anything's possible. And if you truly do believe and you have faith in one another, I mean, the opportunities are endless. Yeah, I want to see what people think of the film. It's tough.
Yeah.
You never know what people are gonna get out of it. Like last night, somebody said, I've been battling my faith a lot lately. But the opportunity when they spoke to me to hear about the film, to hear about my family's story, they wanted to dive deeper into their faith, and that's what it's about for me. How can we get people to go into a path that may be unseen, right? It may be different, it may be unique, but individually we all have a story, and yeah, I'm excited to see what everybody takes away from it.
Now, what did the process look like when it came down to having those conversations with family members? Like, what did the conversation start off?
Yeah.
Because I know, listen, we in generations of family, sometimes we have family members that may not even want to dive into certain conversations, or it may be uncomfortable. What did that process look like for you?
Yeah, it was for me. I heard this story from my great aunt down in North Carolina, and she had told me the story that my mother never told me before. And one thing that I had to recognize is we know our parents as mom and dad. but everybody else knows them by their name. People know my mother is Sharon. They remember Sharon as a little girl. I never got to see that version of her. And for me, I interviewed all my family members, my aunts, my uncles, my cousins, and I wanted to know their perspective about the people that I'm depicting in this film. And then all it was conversations, right? We look at our family members, oh, that's our cousin, but we got to look at each other as people, individuals, and understand each other's stories. And that's what I really leaned into with this film is, what is the story of my uncle? Who was this guy? He was a Vietnam veteran. He was a tailor. They just lived so many incredible lives. And that's what I had to realize is, let me look at them separately from just being their title given to them, through family is, but I need to know who they were as people and individuals. And that's what I think we all need to do. Just have conversations. Who is mom? Like, I don't know your mom's first name or anything, but my mother's name is Sharon. I was like, who is Sharon? I had to discover who Sharon was as a 6-year-old little girl. And even in doing this film, who Sharon is now as a 60-year-old woman, right? How is she transformed? Where is she at now? Where's her heart, her mind? Where's her spirituality at right now? And that's what I had to do with this film, is just talk to folks, talk to my family, and really dive deeper into who they are.
What did your mom think about the film when actually seeing the finished product?
Yeah, you're going to have to ask her.
I will.
When we showed it last year at Northwestern, we were dealing with a lot of family things, just health-wise, and she was going through a lot. And it was powerful to see all the love that she got out in Chicago. But last night when we showed it in Harlem around her friends, her families, people she works with, I just saw the love she was overwhelmed with. And I'd love for y'all to speak to her. For me, I know she's happy. She's proud of her son. But for her, I can only imagine what this is doing for her. Now in her 60s, being a fully grown woman, a grandmother, a mother, a sister, a daughter, all those things. And to have a movie that's centered around her truths and her histories, and we're depicting her mother. All of those things, I can only imagine it means a lot for her. And I know her mother, my grandmother, is very proud of that. And that's what we all try to do, I hope, is just to honor our ancestors. They do a lot for us. They've done a lot for us. And it's our duty to stand on their shoulders and do more. How do we build from the foundations that they've left? So I know my mom's very proud, but I really would love for y'all to interview her, because my mom always got a lot to say. I have a lot to say, but my mom taught me well. So she's definitely going to give y'all some good stuff.
No, that is definitely a beautiful gift to give her. Like, she gets to reflect and see her life in like real time. Like, not everyone gets to see that, so that's really like a beautiful thing.
Absolutely.
I know you talked a lot about when it comes to like this being for the community, by the community. And I know with being an independent filmmaker, it's a process, and it also takes a lot of resources. So how did you go about funding this project, and what are some advice you get to other independent filmmakers?
So my big thing with this film was and y'all see me since Kingdom. The biggest thing I had with this film was, this is a story about the community. I got to let the community know about this story. This was a story I discovered, but I knew so many people in the community would be tethered or tied to this, and I had to let them in with the journey. So as I was going about crowdfunding, trying to make sure that I was for the community, by the community, I wanted to first ensure that any money that was raised, we were going to hire folks from the neighborhood. It wasn't going to be no outside folks. It wasn't just going to be me. As y'all seen on other films, I direct and do everything. I was like, nah, I need a DP. I need to make sure I got a sound guy. I need a makeup artist. I need a hair person. And I wanted to make sure I gave opportunity to those that, even if they never worked on a film set, I wanted to make sure they got an opportunity to work on this project. So that's how I went about just creating this film, raising money for the film, doing it independently. It was leaning into the resources that are already available and the people that are right here. Right here in this neighborhood. We can do the work. But the biggest thing is, how do you get people invested into doing it, right? How do you get them bought into the story? And that's what I tried to do this whole time with this project.
How did you scout the production people, the production crew for your project? Like, did you use mostly media? Because I know you have a big Instagram following, and people follow you from your other projects. But what did that look like for people that may be starting off?
I'm a fan of people. I study everybody. I know all y'all stuff. I watch all my friends' stuff. I don't just be on Instagram just to,
doom scroll.
For what? I'm like, nah, my friends is doing dope stuff. So I follow people. I follow up with people. I show up for people. Any of my friends got an event, they invite me, boom. Even if they don't invite me and I see it, if the algorithm works, I'm like, I'm going to be there and show up for people, because that's what it's about. And when people see that love, then they want to return that love. And that's kind of how I've decided to live my life is, let me show up for folks. Let me pour into people. And, you got to have, once again, you got to have faith that they at least do the same in return for you. So that's what I tried to do. And I mean, I'm from Harlem. I went to school in the Bronx. My family is from all over the city. but there's so many talented folks here, and so many times we look for elsewhere or
Right.
these others to try to come and save us when we could do the saving ourselves right here. We have the talent, we have the infrastructure, but it's just about us doing the work and coming together. It needs to be, as they say, one Harlem. It needs to be one Bronx. It needs to be one Harlem and Bronx, and it needs to be one Uptown. So that's what I'll say I really tried to lean into, and that's what I'm trying to show with this film. We have the talent here. Look what's possible, and from there on, look where it's gonna go. I'm excited to see everybody else that's gonna watch this film and ask the same questions. How did you do it? Who'd you do it with? I'm gonna say, I did it with my friends. I did it with my family. I did it with people that I know and I grew up with. And that's what I want to continue to do.
Love that.
You have a Perspection Media company. Can you just elaborate on what that is?
Yeah, so Perspection is something I started with my first film, The Movement, back in 2015. As soon as I started making films, I was like, I need like a slogan. Like I see all these production companies, and Perspection was this collaboration of two things that I feel made me who I am, is my perspective and my vision. And I wanted to collaborate those words or combine them, and Perspection is what we made. And Perspection now is served as my engine of just putting out my work, whether it's photography, videography, content for others. But what I'm hoping to do with Perspection in the future is I want to continue to collaborate with people. I want to build with them. I want to use the resources I have and the knowledge I have to help others create the stories that they want to see. So Perspection is a production company. It's a slogan that people should use. Like I want people to understand that Perspection is not even just a production company. It's something that we should all have as individuals, our perspective and our vision, and that's what's going to make us uniquely us. So that's what Perspection is, and I'm excited that The Sight Unseen is Perspection's 19th film.
Wow.
It's been a lot of work of just me believing in myself and believing that my perspective and my vision means something, and people have bought in. So I'm extremely grateful for all those, like even y'all of Perspection. I love you.
A collaboration, and it's going to be in the works.
That's definitely what I'm saying. I'm like, we already doing it, but it's just like, let's call it something, right? So Perspection is that. It's what we do. It's who we are. And yeah, I'm excited to continue to build it out and build with others.
Well, you heard it here first. Yes. Follow the Instagram page. Spell it out for us.
Perspection, PERSPEXSION.
Okay, Akila.
It's a tongue twister. You gotta like read it out, say it out, and then you get it. But Perspection is the name. I'm Shawn Antoine II. I'm the filmmaker behind The Sight Unseen. Thank y'all for having me. Like always, we're going to continue to do this whenever, wherever, but extremely grateful for y'all support.
Thank you. And follow his page to watch out for more showings.
There we go. Thank you, y'all.
We just finished watching The Sight Unseen, the film by Shawn Antoine II. My name is Leah. I'm here with Kyle.
What's up, it's Saint.
And we have one of the actors that played the priest, Skylar.
How you doing?
How you doing?
I'm good.
Say your first and last name so we can follow you.
I'm Skylar James Bailey. I'm from the Bronx, New York. I'm an actor.
What was your experience playing a priest, and have you ever played a priest before?
I played a priest once in this film called Claude by Karen Rose Bruning. But this is the second time that I got to do it. It's always a interesting experience. You know, I've had friends tell me that I should have been a preacher, or that I'm a very like outspoken person. So yeah, it always aligns with me to play somebody like that. For sure.
What was the research that you did in terms of playing this character?
Yeah, so as far as research, it wasn't much because of the time frame. All I knew was that Reverend Austin was this renowned preacher in Mount Vernon, that he was a community leader. So it was so funny. I sat in front of somebody in the screening upstairs that was from Mount Vernon, and Reverend Austin actually bailed out their uncle like years ago. It was crazy. Oh, wow. But yeah, so when me and Jared got on set, that's what I was talking about when I was talking in Talkback. Me and him kind of figured out like what this relationship was, what the moment before was, and things like that. So we kind of did it in the moment.
What did you feel watching the whole movie after the fact?
Oh no, that was a beautiful experience. Like I said upstairs, like I've never, I've been a part of a lot of films. This is one of the best ones that I've ever been a part of. I'm so proud to be a part of it. This story is so interesting. I actually want to go and tell my family about it. I want my family to see it because, like I said, I'm from Trinity Avenue. I'm from the Bronx. And I want to know what their experience is with this particular phenomenon because nobody talks about it, like they said. So I'm curious. It's awakened my curiosity. I can't wait for more people to see it. I'm hoping that Maisels will screen it for a period of time or
Yeah.
something like that, just so I can tell people where to come check it out.
Yeah.
And for you, how important it is to be able to work with people within your community and
Oh,
build those type of projects that you can work with people within your community. Like, how important is that to you?
it's super important. People think that how you get to the top is that you reach up, but really you reach across, right? And you got to support each other,
Right.
right? I just met you two.
Right.
Now I'm going to support you. I'm going to follow you.
Right.
You guys are going to follow me. We're going to show up to each other's events. That's how you do it. That's
Right.
how you build community. So many talented people around you. You don't got to look up
Right.
to anybody. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's the important message in being a part of projects like this, and just in general in life. You know.
On that note of supporting the collective, what is your Instagram and where can we follow to see more work of yours?
Oh yeah, sure. My Instagram is Dreamable James on Instagram. Also on Threads. Yeah, you can find me there.
Can we just have your name?
My name is Annalisa.
Great. And what's your IG so people can know?
I'm on a little sabbatical right now.
That's real.
However, I am a poet. I go by the name of Broken Language.
Love.
When I go back on Instagram, it's Broken Language __.
Great and awesome. So we're here at the premiere of The Sight Unseen. I want to know, what is your initial thoughts after seeing the movie? How did it impact you?
I feel like first of all, I feel in alignment watching it because I feel like, as they were saying earlier, I feel a remnants of my faith, like of how I see my faith. It really is something that I can't put into words. It's inexplicable. And most importantly, it feels like it's not for everyone to understand. And I feel like you have both aspects in the film. Like, there's the people that get it and there's the people that just feel it.
Right.
So, yeah.
Awesome.
Now, you mentioned you're a black historian, a Bronx historian. What does that mean?
I mean, that's in there too, but yeah.
What does that mean to you?
So for instance, I've grown up in the Bronx all my life, born and raised. I grew up what I like to call the belly of the Bronx, which is like Bathgate and 179 and Tremont. So, but for instance, last year I lived in the brownstones in Mount Haven. So also in Southside Bronx. So like there they have a hospital, and the hospital used to be used for the crackheads and the heroin addicts that were there. And the Black Panthers there and the Young Lords, they were doing like acupuncture to help them with the addiction. At the time, the person leading that Black Panther movement was Tupac's brother. I forget his name, but all that to say, like, so I collect these like just pieces of history about the Bronx because it is easy to neglect it because it's always been neglected. And like seeing this is like a rose growing out of the concrete. Like, so that's why I resonate so much. So.
Yeah, I think you're right. I feel like seeing a film, because also me being born in the Bronx, being raised in the Bronx. I was born in Queens, but raised in the Bronx since I was 4. Like you said, we are a lot of times unrepresented,
right? Overlooked
and overlooked. So seeing something like this was definitely very powerful, and I love that our stories are being told within our community.
Exactly.
I want to know, what are some of the key things inside the film that stood out to you?
One, the cinematography, like the shots of it. I feel like I see the parallels, like I said, between Spike Lee movies or even like more video like Hype Williams, which he also did the movie Belly. But like I gravitate to that. I also gravitate to those like parts in the scripts that feel like almost like a proverb. They feel very poetic. And I feel like those little words that we need, like those are the things to remember. Like those are the things that kind of stay as capsules, you know.
Well, listen, thank you so much for joining us.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
And do you have a page for where you show and display your posts?
So I don't have a page, but I do have my book out on Amazon. My name is Broken Language. It can be found on Amazon. And the title is An Anthology of Life Poems Through the Puerile Lens of My Adolescent Self.
Well, you heard it here first. Tap into Amazon and check out her book. We're at the premiere of The Sight Unseen. We're here with the lead actor, Jared Kim.
Hey y'all, how y'all doing?
Now, you just seen the finished product. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts are that The film is unlike any film that I've seen. I think that it's truly unlike any film that anyone else has seen. I think that, yeah, Sean was able to put together and construct such a phenomenal world and build such a phenomenal world. And it was an honor to be a part of it.
Now, you was a lead actor, but you also had a supporting role into the story that was being told. What
Mhm.
was the process in developing that character?
Yeah, so Sean had sent me a film called Medium Cool that I used. That film was about a journalist just kind of going around and kind of asking people questions, uh, breaking a story. You know, being the first person to break a story, and uh, that really instilled like the sense of urgency in asking questions, being direct with the questions that you're asking because you're trying to get specific information. You know, and also you don't know how these people are going to receive you when you just come up to them asking them questions.
Right.
Certain people are going to be receptive, certain people are going to be adversarial to you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's important to know how to maneuver in the world as a journalist as well.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, man, I think it's just really important right now for journalism, for preservation of history, preservation of Black and Brown history in specific. You know, in a time when it's being erased a lot, I think this film is coming at a very opportune time.
Right. How do you hold space for creating those type of environments to ask those
Mhm.
questions and just kind of create those vulnerable moments for other people that's sharing space with you?
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think as an I was just talking to Skylar, who plays the pastor. Man, he did such a phenomenal job. Um, I think for me, acting is really an exercise in empathy, right? So whenever I'm around people, I want people to feel that, you know, whether I'm on set or or in my real life, you know. I think the world is already hard enough as it is. So when people are around me, I want them to feel, I want them to not feel that. Um, you know, like if you're around somebody, you should be trying to make their life a little bit easier,
Yeah.
Amen
you
to
know.
that.
So that's what I try to do.
And this is a film that it was made for the community, by the community. How important is it to be a part of something like that?
Oh man, it feels so good. It feels so rewarding to work on something with within your community, you know, with people that are in your community, representing your community well.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a film that anybody who sees this film and relates to it is gonna feel pride in it.
Right.
And that for me and Sean is like the most
Rewarding thing.
the most rewarding thing, man. Like Sean was talking about, you know, going to festivals and all that stuff. And all that stuff will be cool.
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna do that too.
Yeah.
But it's like important for us to do this first. You know what I mean? To make sure that the community that we represented in this film appreciates it,
Mm-hmm.
and then we'll get the blessing here and then send it out into the world. You know, so we appreciate everybody showing up, showing out for us, man. Continue to support the sight unseen, Shawn Antoine II, myself, uh,
And then,
all the cast and crew. Yeah, for
and then
sure.
one last question. We
Yeah,
seen in that film, you and those stairs went together real bad.
yeah, yeah. Me versus the stairs, man. That's a hot topic right now.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
saying?
Were
But
you
honestly,
foreseeing that?
I didn't foresee any of
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
foresee any of that. But you know what? I was
Right.
ready for whatever, man. You know what I'm saying? So Sean was like, "Man, we gonna do that 7 times." I'm like,
Right,
"We
right,
doing that
right.
7 times? We gotta get the shot."
But it's interesting, even those more little details, it becomes a thing in itself. But it adds
Yeah.
more character and more
Yeah.
humor to
Right. I
to
like
something like that.
because when we were shooting it, I had no clue. I didn't
Right,
even
right.
realize how many shots of stairs we had until I saw it,
Right,
and then everybody had their reaction to it. You know.
right.
But yeah, me against the stairs, man. I guess that's what it is. But honestly, my calf's stronger. So
That's good.
you know what I
That's
mean?
something coming.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, listen, can you share your Instagram
Yeah.
or any works that we can follow you so we can continue
Yeah.
following your journey?
Yeah, sure. My Instagram is Jared Kemp _ JAREDKEMP _. You can follow me on there. On Facebook, it's just Jared Kemp. Yeah, you're gonna be seeing me. I have another film coming out later this year called The Threshing. That'll be streaming and in theaters like in this fall. So check that out. Thank you so much. Thank you.
All
I
right, be sure
appreciate
to
it.
check him out. Again, you guys also be sure to support the Sight Unseen, and this is Talk
Sir.
Infamous. All right.
Yes, sir.
We out here with Sharon Antoine. Her character was a 6-year-old that basically told the story about seeing across her window. We're here in person. How did you feel watching the film?
It was incredible. I am very proud of my son. Him bringing my story, my memory to life on film, and for others to even actually come out to see it. I'm very proud of him. And
how do you hold space for when it comes to just sharing those untold stories? Because I know this wasn't a story that you spoke to Shawn about. I believe your sister or his
great aunt,
great aunt told you. How did you feel about that? Like now hearing it after the fact.
I was fine with that. When he brought it to me and said, "Mom, why haven't you told me?" I was like, I just didn't. It was something I suppressed for years that I didn't think about it. It was just something that was in my memory.
And what is your advice to, possibly parents who aren't, sharing those untold stories with their kids?
Share it. Share every little memory. That I don't care if it's good or bad, but share those stories, because this is something that helps them grow as adults, as young adults. This helps them grow and be able to navigate life, just life in general, because a lot of parents don't share. Children tend to mimic tragedy and sadness, and a lot of parents don't do that, and then they, oh yeah, this happened to me, but no one knew. How do you protect your children? You protect your children by telling them things that helps them navigate and move from getting caught in situations that they could avoid, via it's a personal relationship or family member. So I think you need to tell your story, because your story holds weight, and your children are the ones who need to be the vessel to hear it.
I love that.
I so believe in breaking generational curses, because like you said, we have to share the untold stories. You mentioned something earlier that you heard from your pastor. Do you remember what that was?
Choice and change. Choice is something that you tend to make, but change is something that you can grow from, because any bad situation can turn into a good situation, but you have to tap into it. Because if you don't tap into it and you just let it go, that's just like saying, oh, I can't do something, oh, I can't do that, but I would like to do it. But you have to learn to tap in. If you tap in and go in 100%, he went for it. You have to go for things that you feel passionate about. Or if you say, okay, I want to go into this career path, you have to believe it. If you believe it, others will believe it. And some may not believe it, but then they're going to trust. They're going to say, wow, they're doing it. I didn't believe they could do that. Change, choice, and change. It's up to you.
And I think his son is a great representation of that. Like you say, he brought this into the world, and not only is he sharing your story, he's also impacting others through, telling your story. So we appreciate you for sharing your story.
Thank you.
And having him, who's kind of carrying this on. And again, it may be a message in it for everybody,
Yes. I hope it is.
I know for sure it is. So I'm just so happy that we were able to experience it. And
I'm glad you guys were. Thank you.
And listen, the story is a film that's going to be watched years and years later.
Yes.
But Shawn, just me even connecting and meeting Shawn is amazing. It's really like your legacy. And I tell my mom that whatever I do in this lifetime, whenever she goes, she would still be living through me. And so absolutely. I think that's just a beautiful, beautiful representation. And you have so many kids, which is amazing. They're gonna
not that many kids. I only have 3. I have 3.